Basin oil producers are under pressure to reduce flaring and venting, but now they may have found a way to convert waste gas into a useful product. Edge LNG, or liquefied natural gas, is one company trying their hands at that. Big 2's Jake Eichstadt joins us to explain for this week's Energy Report.
Edge LNG says this is a win-win for Permian producers, not only to reduce their ESG and getting good standings with the EPA, but also they say that there's an economic gain getting the waste to market.
We believe at Edge that the Permian is the future of the oil field. I mean, it's the most busy basin in the U.S. It's ripe for opportunity. There are a lot of flaring issues here.
How LNG plans to do it is pretty cool. Negative 260 degrees cool, in fact. They freeze the gas that would be wasted, store it, and truck it off. The technology has been used for decades on the East Coast, but the company just got their first customer here in the Permian.
You take flare gas or stranded gas assets. With our equipment, we really have a three-step process. The first thing we do is we stick it into a ZPTS to remove all liquids. At that point, from there, we stick it into our cryo box, which we bring the gas down to a temperature of negative 260 degrees, and from there it becomes a liquid form. From that point, we put it into our ISO trucks, trailers, where we can truck that to locations to fuel dual fuel applicants, drilling rigs, generators, frac fleets, anything that can take that element. So, and we can regasify it on location as well.
Each cryo box can process up to 1 million cubic feet of gas per day, which yields about 10,000 gallons of LNG. The company says this process can cut 45% of diesel used on a frac fleet by instead using the LNG that used to be burned off. According to the Railroad Commission, between April 2019 and 2020, oil companies in the Texas Permian burned 146 billion cubic feet of natural gas. That's the same amount of gas used in 2/3 of all Texas households during that time frame. Edge will start with 2 cryo boxes here in the Permian, and by the end of next year, their goal is upwards of 14.
For the first time in the Permian Basin, we bring an opportunity to use LNG infield as an option to displace diesel, removing flare gas from the environment. And it's a cost initiative to the operator.
That has not been the case. The combination of sustained low natural gas prices, pipeline capacity, and relatively high transportation costs has led to many oil producers to simply burn the gas through flaring. Or in some cases, it is just being vented into the atmosphere. With less regulation, experts say it's becoming a bigger problem in Texas. Studies done by the Environmental Defense Fund have methane being released at 3 times the rate the EPA says is happening, something the Railroad Commission and Permian Basin Petroleum Association have teamed up to tackle. They are dedicating billions to help with the lack of infrastructure, hoping to cut down on flaring and venting.
There will be more accountability for operators to adopt better practices, and whether that's more efficient flaring or better technologies to maintain the gas, or to incentivize moving the gas to market. That's the goal for every operator, is to create a marketable use for their gas.
Everyone needs to look at their ESG scorecard and what they're doing with the environment and the EPA. And then secondly, if you're looking to save money, one way to do that is displace diesel, and do that while checking that scorecard and stopping flaring at the same time. So it's a win-win.
To read more on the history of this initiative and its chances of growing here in the Permian, visit our website, yourbasin.com. Stay tuned every Friday for a new energy report. Reporting in studio, Jake Eichstadt, Big 2 News.